up as their Redskins get set to match up with the Carolina Panthers. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. Fielded about a yard deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line.
Let's go, 15. Hey.
The first carry for the rookie, it's Darius Geis. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
On second down, here's Smith. Throw left side complete. It's Richardson. And down he'll go at the 25. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. Out of the gun, Smith. Out to the left, it's complete to Dodson. And he gets it to the 34, good enough for the first. Smith finding Dodson that time for a Washington first. On first down, this is Geis. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1.
That was an example of excellent defense there. They stuffed him. So now he brings up a 3rd down situation. If I'm calling plays here, I make sure I put it in the hands of my quarterback and get it to a receiver real fast. I'm not running the ball here.
Smith going to throw on 3rd and 1. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd. They'll hand it down to Geis. And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
To throw on second down is Smith. Throwing the out route and complete. It's Davis. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down. Eighth play of this opening drive coming up. This is third down. From the gun, here's Smith. Jordan Reed has it. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. Smith finding his big tight end Reed for a Redskins first.
Okay, I'm not so great at math, but I just looked over at our statistician Marvin, and he signaled to me 5 for 5 to get things started here on this opening drive. Where I come from, that's pretty good.
That is pretty good. Now, what do you do defensively to adjust?
Well, this is where you got to make a decision as a defensive coordinator. Do you really get after the quarterback, or maybe you tighten down on the receivers, bump them off of their routes, chip away at their timing so things aren't as precise as they've been so far in this game?
He's got his man. This is Jackson. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Let's go. Let's go. 15.
Throwing again is Smith. And he drops this off to Thompson, complete. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll be third down. And so far, a very nice, methodical opening drive.
This has the feel of a scripted drive that they rehearsed perfectly all week long, and now they're executing it on game day.
Script looks good so far. The 13th play now coming on this opening drive. Here's third down. Smith throwing again. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. Well, they've been practicing goal line offense all week. Let's see if they're able to capitalize here. To the air again, Smith. And that incompletion breaks a string of 5 straight connections. And it's second down.
Brandon, some of those windows to throw the football that exist when you're between the 20s, they don't exist when you're this close to the goal line. But as a former DB, I liked it closer to the goal line. Tighter windows made it easier to cover people, actually.
They'll try again here from the 7 on second and goal.
Hey, back up, back up, back up, back up. Motion, left.
Again, Smith. Buying time to his left. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by James Bradbury. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Now following the interception, here's Newton. Eluding the pressure right. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
Oh, my Cam. There's times when I'm not analyzing up here. I'm just appreciating. Led NFL quarterbacks in rushing last year. He is truly the ultimate weapon at that position.
Now a carry. It's C.J. Anderson. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a third and about 3 to go.
On that play, it was the defensive front that won the battle. They out-leveraged the offensive line, got into the backfield, and held him to no gain.
Newton on third down. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one. Well, we saw them there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Let's go. Let's go. 15.
Here's Smith now on second down. And a big loss here as he's taken down. This Carolina D was third in the NFL in sacks last year.
And sometimes that surprises people when they hear that, because who's the dominant pass rusher that you think of putting up double-digit sacks? They do it collectively as a unit and get to the quarterback.
Hey, slot.
Back live, Charles Davis to my right. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Redskin football to begin quarter number 2. They do, however, have a tough third and long coming up.
Yellow.
A shotgun snap for Smith. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in the good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Carolina getting set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey, and he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. They'll halt play here for an injury as Christian McCaffrey is slow to get up. We'll check on his status when we get back. Now a first carry for Donnell Pumphrey. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5. And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Redskin defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. From the 50, Newton. Being chased out left. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and get some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Now Newton. Forced out to his left. He can run for it, and he will. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down. Here's Michael Pilardi now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
On first down, Smith. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Smith now. Going to throw again. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Richardson. And they're going to get this one up past the 25. 23 yards on the play. Smith on first down. And run it. He's got him in. Complete. A very solid gain of 27. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike. And on this play, the read for the quarterback was the defensive end, and he was totally focused on the quarterback. He should have given it off inside to the running back. Instead, he kept it and ended up taking a loss on the play.
Smith to throw on second down. It's brought in by Jamison Crowder. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. The Redskins on third down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. Operating from the gun, Smith. Throw left side complete. It's Richardson. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. Give them credit. They knew what they wanted to dial up on 4th. They executed it for 9 yards, and the offense stays out there. Right back to him on first down. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. Owamabe Odigizua in on the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now Smith. Looking to throw on second down. Complete. Richardson has it. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down. The Redskins on third down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This will be 3rd and 5. From the gun, Smith. He's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. And now we get a timeout called on the defensive side of the ball by the Panthers. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. And Hopkins' kick is good. And it's 3-0 as the Redskins strike first. So that drive began at their own 3. They wind up getting 3 out of it.
And to me, the mentality to begin the drive, that was probably the key to everything. Let's just make sure we take care of the football, give ourselves some room, and maybe punt it away. Instead, it started at the 3, and it ended with 3 points.
Fielded about a yard deep. Carolina getting set to take the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
On first down, Newton. And this one complete right side to Funchess. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
we go.
Here's Newton now on second down. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
20. Do something.
Now Newton on first down. Flush to his right. And some room to work. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. So an instance there of Cam being Cam. We know he can use his legs.
And with that big body, it's hard to get him down, even if you get a clear shot on him. Plus, he moves it a lot faster than what people think. And boy, does he have fun playing the game of football.
First down. Here's the run with Anderson. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Deron Payne, the big D tackle there to make the stop.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Now Newton taking a shot for, and this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown, Carolina. In for the score. And his guys are able to strike for 6.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Already looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
Extra point try good by Gano, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So out now come the Redskins. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Now a first down throw. It's Smith. Steps away to his left. It's hauled in by Dodson. A gain of 6 there on first.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Yellow.
On second down, here's Smith. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Richardson. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Paul Richardson as the first half is winding down. And the Redskins get the quick strike touchdown. Extra point good by Hopkins. And the lead is now 10-7. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. And onto the field, here come the Panthers. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
1st and 10. Newton looking left side, and he's got a man. That's right. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. So we've reached halftime here in D.C. in our nation's capital with a home team, the Redskins, on top. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach! Fielded about a yard deep. Ooh, with a juke. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the 3rd quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think
Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
To throw on 2nd down is Newton. That's Samuel, caught left side. And now look at him go. He's at the 40, 20, 10. Touchdown, Carolina. A big play there. 89 yards. And his guys are able to strike for 6.
I know we often laugh, and sometimes we even exalt the guys who are great trash talkers and give us some really funny lines. But the bottom line is absolute production on the field. His 2nd touchdown of the game, and they lead.
And now they'll be looking to their defense to preserve that lead. Gano the extra point, and the lead is now 14-10. Gano out to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here's the Redskins offense now as they get set to start this 3rd quarter. They trail offense first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30.
Orange. Regular. Orange. Check. Hey, back up. Hey, back up. Hey, slot. Ringo.
To throw on 2nd down is Smith. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he goes out of bounds across the 40-yard line.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. Tackle made there by Mike Adams, a strong safety.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
The Redskins on third down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 9.
Slot. Orange.
Out of the gun, Smith. Throw left side complete. That's Richardson. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. They snap it to Smith. And that is going to be incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And this defense is going to get the football back near midfield, right at the 48. Good starting position for the Panthers as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Anderson as they begin this series on the ground. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Go.
This is Newton off the play fake to McCaffrey. Sliding out of the pocket. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd.
The best quarterbacks that ever played the game all wanted to blend in with their teammates and be one of the guys. But sometimes you got to take modesty and put it aside. You're the franchise quarterback, the face of the team, and the guy that leads them to victory. You have to get down and protect yourself and not take hits like that.
Come on. Hey. Do something. Get it.
Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. And he finds a man. It's Olsen. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
Gun. 20.
Now a first down throw for Newton. Stepping up, he'll try and run. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well, what we call those broken plays? You can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. They're just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. Newton on first down. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11. A shotgun snap for Newton. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Monte Nicholson picks it. And a good return here as he takes it up past the 30-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
On the ground, it's Thompson. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. There to stop him was Rashawn Golden.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Here's Smith now on second down. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old-school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Throwing on third down, Smith. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a fourth down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Now, meanwhile, they go for it on fourth down, and my goodness, incomplete. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Dancing to his left. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable second and short.
Come on now. Let's go.
On second down, here's Newton. He sets to fire deep. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
The Panthers on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Just beating the play clock is Newton. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. On first down, it's Newton. Taking a shot for Samuel. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at second down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
2nd and 10, Newton again. And that one not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time was. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Do something.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Flushed out right. He may try and run for this. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. Newton able to use those legs and get past the marker to pick up the first. That is an absolute backbreaker. That was a design passing play, wasn't a draw. You think you got him stopped, good coverage downfield, and he's able to pick up the first with his legs. Defensively, that kicks into your psyche and hurts a little bit, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and here's the thing. Anytime you give up a first down, it hurts you psychologically, but it hurts more when they get it this way because you've covered everything. He didn't have any place to throw the football. He takes off running and picks it up anyway, and now you have to stay on the field for an extra set of downs.
And really could have used that stop trailing here in the fourth. Caught left side by Funchess. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. From the gun, here's Newton. This will be caught just inside the 10. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. It'll be a gain of 6, and they're going to have a 3rd down. Out of the gun, Newton. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
From a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Liz. Hey. You got 15, yeah. Regular.
Here's Smith to throw again. Out to the left here to Reed. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
The Redskins on 3rd down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 7. Smith. Trying to lay one up deep. It's caught inside the 25. And he is down deep into Carolina territory. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll run with Thompson, and they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
Now Smith on 3rd and goal. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And Hopkins' kick is good. And that will cut this lead back down to 4 now. It's 17-13. So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, 4th quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the air.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Here's Newton. Open man is Samuel, complete. He finds an opening past the 40. And finally down at the 32-yard line. A huge play there on the screen pass. 43 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Whistles now in a timeout defensively. So a wise move as they'll use the first of their timeouts to force one more play before the 2-minute warning. And they'll try to squeeze in one more play here before the 2-minute warning. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. On 2nd down, Anderson. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense.
20. 20. Look at that.
Now it's Newton. Buying time to his left. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up fourth.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
And Godot's kick is right through. And that'll make this a 7-point game. So he splits the uprights, and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good three-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
Now here's Johnson. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that will help him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super tough.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 30 yards there. Back to throw. He's going to let it fly. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. The safety, Ross Cockrell, there to knock that one away. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does. And in the second quarter, he may very well have run by him. But in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. He'll look to throw. Out to the left, it's complete to Dodson. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
It didn't check off every box, but the most important one. Got the clock stopped, getting out of bounds. It may be a little short of the first down, but I thought that was the key.
The Redskins on third down. They've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. He's back to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Desperation time for Smith on 4th down. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Panthers are going to win the football game. Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field. They have the lead, still a one-possession game, but the defense got the stop. They've got the football now, just salted away, right?
Exactly. That's all the defense is counting on from their offense. They did their job in a big way. You know they're over on the sidelines now starting to take their tape off, and, hey, we've done this thing. The offense has to put it away, and that means ball security.
Absolutely. Stranger things have happened. The Panthers down to a knee out of the victory formation. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for Carolina, they improved to 5-0 now on the young season. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Philly to take on the Eagles. Meanwhile, for Washington, they'll fall to 1-4 with a loss. And they will get a home date next week as they will take on the Dallas Cowboys. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.